Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Happy New Year and welcome to Tisch Loveless Court inside the Anderson Athletic Center for today's final non-conference men's basketball matchup featuring the Maroons of the University of Chicago and your Kalamazoo College Hornets. Good afternoon again. My name is Zach Metz. The final non-conference tune-up for both of these teams who have had pretty successful non-conference seasons, and two programs that have met many times over the past few years, and a heavy streak favoring UChicago in this matchup, which we will tell you about as we get closer to tip. For now, we're going to look at the starting lineups and then a little bit into both teams. First up for the Maroons, coached by Mike McGrath, who is in his 25th season with UChicago, has eclipsed the 300-win mark and has led this program to tons of success. First up for them is a junior guard from Topeka, Kansas, number 11, Joe Barry. A junior guard from Atlanta, Georgia, number 13, Eamon Kana. A senior guard from Niles, Michigan, number 23, Thomas Karosky. A freshman forward from Brentwood, Tennessee, number 30, Daniel Cochran. And a senior forward from Newtown Square, Pennsylvania, number 35, Jackson Piotrowski. As we flip it over to the Hornets, they are coached by Nick Giard, who's in his 5th year with the program. First up for them, a junior guard from Chelsea, Michigan, number 2, Lucas Hannafin. Freshman guard from Ann Arbor, Michigan, number 12, Nelson Sompa. Freshman guard from Canton, Michigan, number 14, Bradley Izuka. Senior forward from Boise, Idaho, number 20, Lucas Broadsword. And a sophomore guard from San Diego, California, number 23, Patrick Perez. So what kind of matchup are we getting here today? It very well could be a grinded-out type of game. It could be high-flying. Not quite sure, but UChicago has played games that have typically been in the lower scoring side of things. They score about 74 points per game as a team, about 45% from the field and 33% from deep. Their leading scorer is Thomas Karosky, who comes in averaging 12.9 points per game. Their best three-point shooter by statistics is Daniel Cochran, who's at 56%. Not a huge high percentage in threes, but he will take them, and when he takes them, he has been able to hit them. As we look at the Hornets side, 7-3 as mentioned. They're coming off a win over Bluffton on New Year's Eve, 84-78. They lost the game before that against Ohio Northern. Their last 2 home games were wins over Illinois Tech and Lake Forest, 81-77 and 74-72. They come in scoring 83.7 points per game. They're shooting just under 50% from the field and 33% from deep. Their leaders in points, it's Lucas Broadsword at 16.4 points per game. Lucas Broadsword is scoring about 63% from the field, and their best three-point shooter is DJ Courtney at 39%. However, DJ is out today, but they do get who they say their best three-point shooter is back. Carter Bandemir is back in the lineup today. After missing the last 2 games, Carter shoots about 35% from 3. Some of the schedule looks for the Maroons. They're coming off a California trip win, 2 wins in California rather, at Pomona Pitzer, 59-58, and at Caltech, 79-48. Riding a very impressive 5-game winning streak, which includes the 2 California wins, a win at Wheaton, a win over Colorado College, and a win over Rhodes. Their last loss was against nationally ranked Illinois Wesleyan, 80-74 on November the 27th, an undefeated December for the Maroons. However, that game in California against Caltech came on the 19th of December, so about half a month ago. Maroons have had some time off to enjoy the holidays, and now they are back in action here today before they get into UAA conference play. It's their final tune-up, and it's the final tune-up for the Hornets as well, because they will begin their conference play against Trine on January the 8th. As the Maroons enjoy their holiday, the Hornets enjoy their holiday. We hope you have enjoyed your holiday as well, and we are glad you are here with us for this matchup between UChicago and Kalamazoo College. We thank you all for tuning in. Again, my name is Zach Metz. We're going to get this game underway in about 2 minutes here at Tisch Loveless Court inside the Anderson Athletic Center. Again, one more time, my name is Zach Metz. We thank you all for tuning into today's matchup featuring the Maroons of the University of Chicago and your Kalamazoo College Hornets.
For Chicago, at guard number 11, Joe Barry. For the Hornets, at guard 5'11" freshman from Ann Arbor, number 12, Nelson Sompa. For Chicago, at guard number 13, Amen Kuna. For the Hornets, at guard 6-foot junior from Chelsea, number 2, Lucas Hannafin. For the Maroon, at guard number 23, Thomas Korowski. For the Hornets, at guard 6'5" sophomore from San Diego, number 23, Patrick Perez. For Chicago, at forward number 30, Daniel Cochran. For the Hornets, at guard 6'4" freshman from Canton, number 14, Bradley Izuka. For the Maroon, at forward number 35, Jason Ochowski. And for the Hornets, at forward 6'7" senior from Boise, Idaho, number 20, Lucas Brunson. Chicago's coached by Mike McGrath, assisted by Mike Nailot, Connor Erickson Dunn, Steve Collar, and Bobby Savage. The head coach for the Hornets is Nick Giar, assisted by Matt Cobalt and Ryan Meehan. Special thanks to our officials today, Robert Kane, Corey Smith, and Drew Rubin.
The Honorable Paul Bridenstine gets us started as always. UChicago off a 5-game winning streak, looking to make it 6. Kalamazoo trying to make a winning streak of 2. Broadsword and Cochran will start us. We are underway here at Anderson. These teams have met 17 times since 2006, and it's been a heavy advantage to the Maroons. UChicago has won 15 of the last 17. The last time the Hornets defeated UChicago as the first shot, no good and out of bounds to stay here, was 2010, December the 11th here at Anderson. The Hornets picked up a 68-61 victory. Last year, these teams met here in Kalamazoo, and it was a Maroons victory. A close game, 67-63 win. And the guy with the basketball, Thomas Korowski, had a really good game. He steps back, tries a 3, no good. Broadsword holds down the rebound for the Hornets. They push quickly the other way. Lucas Hannafin gave it to Nelson Sompa. Hannafin's in the starting lineup. Following the injury to Carter Bandemir, Carter will play today, but coming off the bench after Hannafin had a really nice game, 19 points against Bluffton on New Year's Eve. Nelson Sompa steps back, goes inside to Broadsword. Broadsword working the block, turns around for a jump hook. That's no good, and a tough and physical rebound by Cochran. Izuka hit the floor hard. He's slow to get up. Maroons push. It leads to an open three for Joe Barry. That's no good. Tip to Sompa. Izuka, who is slow to get up, gets it underneath. Got his man in the air, and he scores. Unconventional. Izuka still grimacing a little bit on his way back down the floor. As Sompa full court pressure on Barry. Barry had 11 points in that game a year ago. Gives to Karofsky. He had 23 last year to lead all scorers. Here's Eamon Kana, who had 14, including a couple of big threes. Three for Cochran is no good. Izuka grabs the rebound. And now an official time to get Izuka out of the game, holding his back. And in comes Carter Bandamere. Had a finger injury that made him miss the last 2 games. Back in the lineup today, he said he just couldn't stay out any longer. Got cleared and is out ready to go. A big three-point shooting presence, gives it to Hannafin. Perez has it on the wing, guarded by Jackson Piotrowski, and now Sompa with it outside to Broadsword in the slot. Bandamere fades, gets it. Goes baseline out to Broadsword. Hornets shot clock under 10. Perez in the corners, got 5 to work. Pat drives, spins, got his man in the air, tried to flip it up with the right, and he did. And the Hornets with a 4-0 advantage early. There's Kana, gives to Karofsky. Over to Kana, he drives, out to Cochran. Karofsky around the screen. Steps back, tries a long 2, no good. Offensive rebound for UChicago. These are 2 very good rebounding teams, each with high rebound margins. UChicago's is up at nearly 8 in the rebound margin. For the Hornets, it is 8. 5 to shoot for the Maroons. Kana, tough defense, is going to have to hoist one on Hannafin. Does. No good. Sompa chases down the rebound. Sompa slows down in the slot. Now gives to Bandamere. Has the tall and lengthy Karofsky in his face. A lot of length in the starting lineup for the Maroons. Sompa got it back off a tip. Floats it in the lane. No good. Loose ball goes to Hannafin. He's in some trouble. Out to Sompa in the corner. Hornets get another 20. They've used 8 of it. Hannafin starts to drive, loses. Karofsky's got it all the way down the lane. He will slam it for the first points for the Maroons. First points nearly 4.5 minutes or 3.5 minutes into this game. Sompa tried to hit Perez in the corner. It's knocked out of bounds. Thomas Karofsky for UChicago, averaging about 13 a game, 12.9 as Hornets make a sub, bring Dougie Blackwood, the junior from Tampa, into the game for the first time. Blackwood starts to back down. Piotrowski. Now Dougie in the corner. Fakes, now drives. Goes up with the right, and he scores. A tough bucket for Blackwood, who's scoring just 3 points a game to this point. Seeing more and more minutes as the year goes on, plus with the injury to DJ Courtney. Bradley Izuka has returned to the bench, by the way, as a cut was thrown into the legs of Blackwood. Now Cochran trying to back him down, kicks it out to Karofsky. Now Barry gets a 3 in the corner, bounces no good, and a rebound and a foul. Cochran grabbed the rebound, he was fouled. I believe that's going to go on Blackwood. It is going to go on Blackwood, and it is going to take us to our first media timeout of this game. So 4 minutes in, it's a 6-2 Hornet advantage. Maroons ball underneath the basket here to start the second portion of the first half after the first media timeout. And an illegal screen is going to be called. There was a plethora of new subs for UChicago. Everybody at Kanawha exits as that foul goes against Luke Smith, who just came in, the sophomore from Richmond, Virginia. The other subs include Philip Lawrence, who's defending the ball now, a sophomore from New York. Noah Pitt guarding Blackwood as it's over to Bandimere. Pitt is a freshman from Mendham, New Jersey. Broadsword picks it up, out to Bandimere, being guarded by Kanawha, the only starter still in. The other Maroon to come in was Dominic Martinelli, fifth-year senior, as Bandimere tries his first three, no good. Blackwood couldn't quite hold on to the rebound. This will stay on this end. And no, it will not. Corey Smith, the referee, says my mistake, and it is UChicago basketball. Martinelli, the fifth-year senior from Glenview, Illinois, transferred in from the University of St. Thomas. There's Lawrence with it. Gets a lane, goes all the way to the basket, flipped it up with the left, no good. Luke Smith grabs the offensive rebound, up again, couldn't score. Broadsword comes down with it. And now another stoppage. I believe this is a shot clock issue. It is. As DJ Ferguson comes in for the first time, a senior from Lansing, Michigan. Came in from Heidelberg last year. Sompa goes to Blackwood in the corner. Blackwood jabs, now kicks it out. Sompa has two on him, gives to Blackwood. He's got an open three in the wing, too strong there. And the rebound to Kanawha. Rebounding will be something to follow as an area both of these teams do excel at or have so far in the non-conference. There's Lawrence on the wing. Over to Smith. He swings it to Kanawha. Kanawha tries a deep three. That's no good. Neither team has hit a three so far. Lawrence trying to change that. He won't. Bandimere holds on to the rebound. Carter pushes, gives to DJ Ferguson. Crossover, pulls up from the mid-range. No good. Broadsword has the rebound. Spins, gets his right-handed hook. Couldn't get it to go. Lawrence will slowly bring up the other way for the Maroons. Kanawha on the wing. And another shot clock issue. A couple of subs will come in for the Hornets. Perez comes back in, and in for the first time, it's J.J. Stevens, the junior from Sturgis, Michigan. Karowski comes back in. Update from Olivet, where the Kalamazoo College women's basketball team is in action today, looking for their first league win over the Comets, is 36-34 Olivet. In the midway stage of the third quarter in that one, and another shot clock issue. Leading the Hornets in the women's game is Sophia Moore with 10. Lawrence gets it on the inbound. Now Smith. A three for Pitt is good. Noah Pitt, freshman who scores about 4 a game, is a 38% three-point shooter. First three of the game for either side, and it makes it 6-5. Stevens tried to hit a back cut to Sompa, but it was kicked. Keeps it here. Chicago has shot 9 threes so far in this game. As a team, they've tried 249 on the year entering today. Bandimere dumps it down to Perez, hangs in the air, and he couldn't finish. Both teams have missed some shots around the rim so far. Karowski gives to Lawrence. Lawrence to Martinelli. In some trouble, lost it. It's still loose. Sompa's going to dive, keeps it in bounds, got it to Stevens, who was in some trouble, tried to find Perez before traveling, and he turns it back over. So a bit of a wild sequence. Keeps it with the Maroons after a brief turnover. Pitt gives it to Karofsky. Karofsky, couple drives baseline, mid-range shot, in and out. Vandermeer's got it. Low-scoring affair, 7 minutes in. Sompa to Stevens. Out to Vandermeer, thought about a three. Now over to Perez. He fakes, he'll drive into the lane, tried to dump it down to Stevens. It was knocked off of Pitt. As Hannafin will come back in for the Hornets, takes Sompa out of the game. Hornets will have it, 12:37 to go in the first half. Inbound to Perez. Perez starts to back down on Piotrowski, and the shot no good. Piotrowski grabs the rebound. Barry, who just came in up ahead, he'll drive, get all the way to the rim, couldn't get it to go. Cochran rebounds, and he scores. And the Maroons with their first lead of this game after scoring the last 5. Hannafin gets a step, drives baseline, left it to Vandermeer. He gets an easy 2. His first basket back. So quickly the Hornets regain the lead. We will have another timeout at the next dead ball. As Piotrowski has on the wing. Karofsky drives. Karofsky backs in, kicks out. Cochran's got a look from 3, no good. And a foul's going to go on Vandermeer as he pushed Karofsky out of the way. First one on Carter, and that will take us to another media timeout. Second media timeout of this game. Hornets with a 1-point lead, 8-7 in the early going to this one. Blackwood, Izuka, and Broadsword all back in for Kalamazoo. As the Maroons have it following the foul on Vandermeer. Karofsky's 3 in the corner is no good. Cochran's got the offensive rebound. So far it's a rebounding advantage to U Chicago as that one's knocked out of bounds following a Cochran shot. It was knocked out by Piotrowski. And the Hornets will bring a sub in for the first time today. It's Connor Koke in for the first time, sophomore from Macomb. Koke's got it. Blackwood probing the defense, gives it to Hannafin. Hannafin over to Broadsword. Broadsword to Koke. Koke around the screen. Trying to find his way to Broadsword. It ends up in the hands of Izuka, and the shot no good. Neither team a good percentage from the field so far. Barry will drive to the baseline. Kicks out to Karofsky in the corner. His 3 goes. It was only a matter of time before Karofsky hit a three. With the volume that the Maroons are trying, they lead at 10-8. Hannafin tries to answer with a three. He does. First points for Lucas Hannafin. This is following his career-high 19 points at Bluffton on New Year's Eve, where he set career highs in every single, or season highs in every single category that you can have. Barry starts the drive, kicks it out. Piotrowski's three is no good. Cochran with one hand rebounds and scores. An impressive finish by Daniel Cochran. A 6'7" freshman. There's Koki around the broadsword screen, pulls up and hits a short jump shot. And now we got a little back and forth going. It's 13-12 Hornets. There's Barry. Barry over to Karofsky. Pump fakes. Pulls up for a three. In and out. Cochran grabs another rebound and a foul underneath. Already 6 rebounds for Cochran. And 5 of them are offensive as Broadsword picks up the foul. His first as Kanawha comes back in for the Hornets. Kanawha back in for the Maroons. Vandermeer back in for the Hornets. Piotrowski trying to back down Koki, gets to his left and scores. UChicago is a very balanced scoring team. A lot of guys that score not a super high number of points, but can score. And Karofsky takes it away from Vandermeer. He might have a free reign to the basket, but he missed the finish. He was fouled, however. And that's going to be the second on Vandermeer. And so Carter will have to exit the game with the 2 fouls. Karofsky will shoot the first free throws for either team. He's an excellent free throw shooter at 84.6%, second highest in the team. First one's away, no good. Sompa back in for Kalamazoo. Second free throw for Karofsky is going to drop after rattling. He's got 6. Maroons have a 2-point lead, 15-13. Sompa gets it to Broadsword. Over to Hannafin. Hannafin gets into the paint, kicks out to Izuka. Pump fake, drive. Izuka up at Karofsky, and he's going to draw a foul, go to the line for 2. That'll be the first one on Karofsky. Second one against Chicago. Sends Bradley Izuka to the line. He is 59% from the free throw line this year. First free throw, no good. Izuka has been 61% from the field to start his first season of collegiate basketball. Has one more free throw here. It's away. It is good. 9 minutes to go in the first half. It's 15-14, and now some full court pressure from the Hornets. And Barry loses it for a moment. Now he's got Sompa all up in him, gets it across the timeline. Into the hands of Kanawha. Kanawha to Karofsky. Around the screen, dumps it down to Piotrowski, who's got an easy 2. What good offense by the Maroons there. They've got a 3-point lead, their largest. Sompa drives, tries to flip it up with the right. No good. Chicago goes quickly now, something we haven't seen much in this game. Kanawha gives it to Karofsky. Piotrowski trying to battle with Koki. Kanawha over to Barry. Barry drives, leaves to Piotrowski, who rises and throws it down. 19-14 now, largest lead of the game for the Maroons. Koki thought about a three. Picks it up, gives to Broadsword. Broadsword working on Cochran. Steps through the lane, got it up, might have been deflected, but he nearly got it back, and Karofsky there to knock it away. Kanaa gives to Karofsky. Kanaa on Izuka. Both teams making some subs at the next stoppage, and we're going to get a timeout as well. Piotrowski nearly drove by Koki and then lost it. He stepped out of bounds before he could throw it off of Koki. It'll be Hornet basketball. And that will take us to a timeout. So 7:19 to go in this one. Here in the first half, it is 19-14 in favor of UChicago. Hornet basketball out of the timeout, trailing by 5. Had a tough time scoring today as Broadsword gives it to Hannafin. Hannafin tried to kick it to Izuka. It was deflected by Kanaa and stolen. And a drive by Barry. He goes all the way and scores. Makes it a 7-point lead for the Maroons. Izuka gives to Koki. He's going to try a three. Couldn't hit it. Hornet shooting struggles continue. They've hit just 1 3 today. It was Hannafin. Turnovers have hurt them as well, as they've got 4 of those. Kanaa around the screen. Picks it up, kicks it out to Barry. As Luke Smith, who just came in, as Barry's going to try and go himself. He's going to be fouled. He's going to go, I believe, on Ferguson. It is. Ferguson just came in. His first team's 5th. 6:22, no bonus yet. Hornets bring in Blackwood, Sumpa, and Perez. On the floor for the Maroons, it's Barry, Smith, Kanaa, Pitt, and Martinelli. As the inbound goes to Kanaa. Kanaa pulls up. His jumper no good. Perez grabs the rebound. One of the few possessions where it's been one and done for Chicago. And an illegal screen is going to be called. I believe that's going on Perez. It is on Perez. It's his first. That's the 6th. So now free throws the rest of the half for UChicago, starting on the next foul. Barry goes to Kanaa. He's been pretty quiet today, has yet to score. They're trying to get it into Barry down low. Now Smith is going to get a 3 out of it. No good. Barry muscles down the rebound, then a foul underneath. It's going to go on Blackwood, and it's going to mean free throws. Second one on Blackwood. Going to send Dominic Martinelli to the line, who's an excellent free throw shooter, the 5th-year senior at 87.5%. Free throws away, it is good. Chicago has kept the Hornets from scoring for a very long time. Last Hornet bucket was at the 9-minute mark on a free throw from Izuka. The rest field goals from Koki at the 10:03 mark. Perez out the broadsword. Gives to Ferguson. Ferguson around the screen. Dumps it down to Broadsword. Broadsword gets to a right-handed hook. He just couldn't get it to go. Although it's going to be loose, though. Ferguson's got it. Blackwood drives, steps through the lane, out to Sompa. He'll slow it down, so the Hornets kind of stealing a possession here. Skip over to Blackwood, thought about a three. He'll drive, trying to find room, and he traveled. So the Hornets will bring Bandemir back in with the 2 fouls, and they will also bring Caleb Call, the junior from Grayling, in for the first time. Nine-point UChicago lead. They have scored the last 8. Martinelli has Bandemir defending him. Pitt has Call on him. Now Smith, 10 to shoot. Kanaw's three comes up short. Smith muscles for the rebound. Now Barry drives to the rim and he scores. Maroons continuing to dominate the offensive glass. That was their 12th offensive rebound of this game. Perez drives, loses it. Unexplainable turnovers right now. Kanaw gave it to Martinelli. He scores, and the Hornets take a timeout. A 12-0 run for UChicago with 4.5 minutes to go. Gives them a 13-point lead, 27-14. Hornets with it out of the timeout. Still searching for a bucket. They've gone over 5 minutes without a point. Call will drive to the baseline. Got it to Perez. He'll try a three and hit. Boy, did they need that. And it comes from an unlikely source from deep. Patrick Perez, just a 21% three-point shooter, but it's a big three for the Hornets just to get some points back on the board. Makes it 27-17. 10-point game. Kanaw gives it to Pitt. Pitt to Barry. Barry drives, tries to dump it down. It was deflected. Now out to Kanaw. Kanaw drives, floats, couldn't bank it down, and Call is going to come up with a rebound. Call ahead to Perez. Couldn't get it to go. Pitt did a real nice job at staying straight up. Now they push ahead. Sompa deflected it. Martinelli's got it. And a whistle, and I believe this was an inadvertent whistle. It wasn't another shot clock issue. It took away a basket, would have been for the Maroons, and it should take us to another timeout. And it will. So after the issue is resolved, it's going to result in a timeout. 3:22 to go in the first half. UChicago 27, Kalamazoo 17. Maroons ball out of the quick media timeout as they will switch Karofsky back in for U Chicago as well as Cochran. Cochran slipped open and managed to score with the left. Miscue by the Hornet defense. Needs 2 points for the Maroons. Vandermeer trying to get himself a look from three. Gets into the paint. Out to Blackwood. It was deflected. And then the pass errant. Another turnover for the Hornets. Just feels like they are disconnected offensively as we're under 3 minutes to go and a 12-point Maroons lead. Karofsky was trying to get open. Cochran gave it to Piotrowski. Now Barry, and he's going to be fouled by Call way away from the basket and with just 3 on the shot clock. It's going to put Joe Barry at the line. He will have 1 and 1. First free throw for Barry away and good. A 59% free throw shooter on the year. Five points on the night. Maroons currently have 3 with 6. As Barry can't get the second free throw. It's going to be tipped around. Barry's going to end up with his own rebound. And a stoppage. And another shot clock issue. And this will be corrected, and Koki will come in for Blackwood. Barry's got it with 10. Barry with 7. He's going to have to probably isolate on Koki. He'll step back, try what I believe is a long 2, and hit it. It is a long 2, and it extends the U Chicago lead to their largest of the day, 15. Call goes back baseline, and he will be fouled. Just the 3rd foul against the Maroons this half.
Foul sign number 23, Karofsky.
It is the 2nd one on Karofsky.
Team's 3rd. Caleb Call at the line.
So Caleb Call will shoot 2. First free throw is away, short, no good. He's just a 58% free throw shooter.
Checking in for the Maroon, number
As
24.
Karofsky will have to exit with just under 2 minutes. Call misses the second free throw. Broadsword's there for the offensive rebound. Vandermeer gets a look for 3. That's no good. Knaw trying to enter to Piotrowski. Confusion on who this was off of. And it is going to stay here. Hornets are pointing their way. Knaw off the inbound, had Koki in the air. Couldn't finish, and a strong rebound from Koki. Minute and a half to go. Hornets still trailing. Call. Drives to the baseline. Got to the rim and scores. A tough drive for Call. And a half for field goals have been hard to come by for Kalamazoo. Well, they haven't shot well from anywhere on the floor. They're going to have to rely on defending and figuring out when they can get their offense going. Knaw tried to find Piotrowski. It's knocked out of bounds by Broadsword.
Back in for Kalamazoo, Lucas.
As Hannafin comes back into the game. .14 on the shot clock, 1:09 on the game clock. Barry was nearly wide open. Now you got Cochran on Hannafin. They'll switch off of this. Lawrence will pull up and hit a mid-range jumper. Philip Lawrence, who scores about 5.5 a game, gets a bucket there. Broadsword crosses over, goes right at Cochran, got him in the air, and then is able to score. Under a minute to go, it's a 13-point advantage for the Maroons. Barry, there's about a 18-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Kanawha, Piotrowski fell down, working with Broadsword. Now Cochran has Hannafin on him. 7 to shoot for Barry. Barry crosses over into the lane, all the way to the rim, couldn't get it. Cochran's got the offensive rebound though, flipped it back up, and a shot clock violation. He's going to give this to the Hornets. Shot clock off now, 17.9 to go. Hornets trailing by 13. A bucket could give them some momentum going into the break. Hannafin gives to Broadsword. Broadsword's got 7. Broadsword double comes and he's fouled. Still plenty to give for the Maroons with 5.2. That's just their 4th. 5.2 left. Hannafin inbounds. Out to Broadsword, gives to Hannafin. He'll step back, try a tough 3, no good. Missed everything, and that will take us to the break. UChicago with a big run to build a 13-point lead behind their tough defensive pressure and their very active hands that have given the Hornets issues, as we'll look at some numbers of the first half, and neither team's shooting great at all. Maroons are just 36.8% from the field, and the Hornets are just 36. UChicago 2 of 16 from deep, 12.5%. Hornets are 2 of 7 at 28%. Maroons 4 of 6 from the free throw line, and Kalamazoo 1 of 4. But it's been dominant in the rebounding category. This is something that said before the game is something to watch, and the Maroons have dominated 27 to 15, including 14 offensive rebounds. Daniel Cochran has been a huge part of that, and turnovers have been in the advantage of UChicago as well. The Hornets with 8 turnovers, and the Maroons with just 4. And the 12 points off of turnovers for UChicago is essentially how they have built this lead, along with their defense. Leading scorers for the Maroons, Joe Barry has 7, Thomas Karofsky, Daniel Cochran, and Jackson Piotrowski with 6. And in the rebounding category, Cochran has been just a beast with 8 rebounds, 6 offensive. Luke Smith adding 5 for the Maroons as well, and Joe Barry with a pair of assists. Their only foul trouble is Thomas Karofsky, who has 2 fouls. And for the Hornets, they're led by Patrick Perez, who's got 5. Bradley Izuka and Lucas Hannafin each with 3, but they have struggled to score all day. Lucas Broadsword leading them with 4 rebounds. Nelson Sompa and Carter Vandermeer each with 2 boards, and Broadsword with a pair of assists. Their foul trouble, Dougie Blackwood has 2 for the Hornets, and Carter Vandermeer with 2. We're going to take a break for halftime. We'll be back in just under 15 minutes for the second half of this one. Most basketball fans will say they hope scoring picks up, but it hasn't been short of entertainment so far in this game. We'll take a break for halftime. Your score, Kalamazoo trailing the University of Chicago 34-21. As we get ready to start the second half of a quick update from Olivet, the Kalamazoo College women's basketball team falls in a close one to the University of Olivet, 61-58. The final score in that one. Hornets were led by Jackie Bryant, who put in 19 points in the loss. 34-21 is our score here. The University of Chicago leading Kalamazoo College behind a very strong defensive effort, as the score indicates. Hornets will start. Lucas Broadsword, Nelson Sumpa, Lucas Hannafin, Carter Bandemir, and Connor Koki. So Bandemir will start the second half in place of Bradley Izuka, and Koki will start in the place of Patrick Perez. Sumpa gives it to Bandemir on a dribble handoff. He immediately fires and hits a three. 10 seconds in, that's how you get your best shooter on the floor going. As Chicago will deploy their same starters, Joe Barry, Eamon Kana, who's got it, Daniel Cochran, Thomas Karofsky, who tries to answer with a three and will. Jackson Piotrowski is the other starter, but 2 threes back-to-back to start the half. Following a half where neither team really shot the ball well. Koki gives it to Nelson Sumpa. Sumpa works around the screen, gives out the broadsword to Koki. Koki spins, gives to Lucas Hannafin. He'll hoist a three, no good. Broadsword is going to run down the rebound. Begins to dribble, kicks out to Sumpa. Now Sumpa on the cut, goes the reverse, and it just rattles off the rim. Nearly a great bucket by Sumpa, and the ball floats to Kana. 13-point Chicago lead. Cochran drives on Bandemir, gets all the way to the rim, and uses his 6'7" frame to score over the shorter Bandemir. Largest lead of the night for the Maroons. Koki gets a look for three, no good. A strong contest flying through the air by Piotrowski. Barry comes off a screen, and it was an illegal one by Cochran.
Offensive foul is on Daniel Cochran. That's his second personal.
Second foul against Cochran. First foul against either side in the half. Very nice crowd today. A lot of students just getting back to campus. Classes begin on Monday for Kalamazoo College. For the second trimester is Broadsword going to try and back down. Cochran has it blocked, but got it back out to Sumpa. Sumpa enters the Broadsword. Bandemir comes around the screen, kicks it out. Hannafin has got an open three, in and out. Rebound is won by the Maroons and Barry. Karofsky drives, and he is fouled. It's going to go on Koki. So Karofsky back to the line for the second time tonight. Split his first pair. He leads Chicago with 9 points. He's the first on either side in the double figures. As the largest lead for the Maroons continues to grow. Second free throw is away. It is good. Quick stoppage is a 41-24 lead for the Maroons. Here's Sumpa, gives it to Bandemir. Over to Koki. Handoff to Broadsword. Out to Koki, he fakes. Probing, got the shot up. Couldn't get it. Loose ball is won by Chicago. Almost 3 minutes in. Piotrowski has an easy floater for two, and the largest lead for the Maroons continues to grow up to 19. Hannafin around the screen, drives, has it deflected, and it's not going to get any call. As Kanawha gets an open three in rhythm, no good. Sumpa trying to run down the rebound, did for the moment, then got it to Barry. Barry's in some real tough water. Got around Koki, out to Karofsky. Scramble mode, but tend to shoot. Karofsky with the left scores, and the Hornets, actually rather the Maroons are going to take the timeout, I believe. But it is a timeout. 16:39 to go in the second half, and UChicago opens the half on an 11-3 run, leading it by 21. Hornets have it out of the timeout. J.J. Stevens comes in for Koki. Hannafin off the handoff. Yes, broadsword. They're going with a too-big lineup, likely to counter the size advantage that UChicago has had. Broadsword trying to back down on Cochran. Kicks out. Bandamere has an open look for a three. That came up well short. Barry's up ahead. He's one-on-one with Hannafin. Barry is going to score. And the lead continues to grow for the University of Chicago Maroons, who are one game away from beginning UAA play, as Sompa couldn't get it to Broadsword. The pass was right to Hannafin. Over to Bandamere, who's got an open three, and he hits it. Bandamere with all 6 points for the Hornets in the half. He leads them with 8. If the Hornets want to make the comeback run, that's a good place to start. Karofsky being guarded by Bandamere. Directing traffic, gives to Eamon Kanawha. Kanawha out to Jackson Piotrowski. Piotrowski enters it into Cochran. He was fouled beforehand by Sompo, which should take us to another timeout. And it will. 15-19 to go in the game. Dominant lead for the Maroons so far, 47-27. Maroons have it underneath following the foul against Sompa. Second foul against the Hornets at the half. First one on Sompa today. Inbound comes to Luke Smith, who just came in. Over to Philip Lawrence, who hoists a three and buries it. Both times the Hornets have hit a three in this half. Maroons have immediately answered with a three of their own. Vandermeer's going to try another one. That's no good, and Lawrence holds on to the rebound. Now a three for Barry is good, and the lead continues to grow. 26-point lead. Sompa drives, reverse, no good. He has struggled to get himself going scoring. Is now 0 for 4 from the field. Lawrence runs ahead, gives to Pitt. Over to Smith, and now the Maroons will slow down. Dominic Martinelli drives to Pitt. Mid-range J, that's no good. Sompa grabs the rebound. Pat Perez just came into the game. He's on the wing with the ball. Gives to J.J. Stevens. Stevens backing down, and he is going to be fouled by Pitt. That'll be his first.
Chicago fouls on Noah Pitt. That's his first personal, team's second. Eamon Kanaa returns for Chicago.
Eamon Kanaa back in. Takes Barry out. Barry to Vandermeer. He'll drive, float, and score. So Carter Vandermeer, the first Hornet into double figures today. DJ Ferguson in for Kalamazoo. They're going to go with a little bit of full court pressure. They had a trap for a moment, but Pitt got rid of it. Lawrence gave it to Martinelli on the wing. Martinelli around the screen. Picks up, throws it right into the hands of Ferguson, who will have an easy run for two. 5 consecutive to the Hornets. Still a long way to go. They get a double team on Pitt, and they force a turnover, but they couldn't hold on to the ball, which means Pitt's got room to run. Over to Martinelli, who tries a three. That's no good. Sompa's got it. They push the other way. Sompa slows down. Stevens to Vandermeer. Ferguson drives, floats, and he is fouled.
Fouls on Eamon Kanaa. That's his first personal.
First one on Kanaa.
Ferguson at the line, 2 shots.
Ferguson's first free throw is away, no good. That's his first free throw miss of the year. He was 9 for 9 before that, as Hannafin, Blackwood, and Broadsword come back in. Hornets will go to the little bit of a smaller lineup. Second free throw for Ferguson. Rattles no good. So they miss both free throws. Not what you're looking for when you have a large deficit. You'd love to get points with the clock stopped, but they come up empty. The Maroons will slow down again with the 22-point lead. Kanaa. 7 to shoot. Pitt's got Hannafin on him. He spins back, has it blocked by Broadsword. Broadsword nearly lost it, racing it up the court. Gave to Ferguson. He'll step back and hit what will be a long two. Bit of a run for the Hornets now. They're going to need a much bigger one. They've scored the last 6. Vandermeer nearly had a steal, and Kanaa's going to get an open 3 out of it, and he hits.
3-point basket by Kanaa.
Hannafin quickly drives, picks it up, out the Broadsword. Now Ferguson. Broadsword to Vandermeer. He floats, and he hits. Hornets stick with the full court press. It's a 2-2-1 pressure. They forced a couple of turnovers with it so far. Lawrence to Pitt. He's trapped, but he splits the double. Gets it to Lawrence. He'll step into a three. No good. Smith goes to run down the rebound. Smith navigates. Lawrence gets a second chance. Couldn't get it. And Hannafin is going to be fouled. It's the second one against Luke Smith. It takes us to another media timeout. Hornets trailing by 21 with 11:16 to go. Hornets with it out of the timeout. The foul called was the fourth one against the Maroons in this half, tying their number that they had in the first half. As Blackwood gives into Broadsword. Broadsword starts to back down over to Hannafin. He'll try a three, no good. Blackwood fighting for the rebound with Karofsky. It's going to be a jump ball, which will give it back to the Maroons. The Maroons are about to get into UAA play, which is an incredibly tough conference, featuring teams such as Wash U, Carnegie Mellon, Case Western Reserve, Emory, Rochester, NYU, Brandeis. Piotrowski gives to a wide open Karofsky for three, no good. And skying in for a rebound was Piotrowski, and he's going to be slow to get up. Hornets have some numbers on the other end. Sompa to Koki. He'll try a three, no good. A good look, and could have been one of those momentum type plays. Instead, Barry will push. Slow down, gives it to Piotrowski. And a three for Cochran is good. Pushes the lead back out to 24. Sompa in some trouble, gave to Koki. As we hit the halfway mark of the second half, Koki's shot no good. Nobody in the UAA has played a conference game yet. And we'll begin that starting a week from today, next Saturday. Karofsky got it down to Cochran, who flipped it up, no good. Meanwhile, Sompa the other way, he couldn't finish. Nelson Sompa has had his struggles to score today. And a shot for Lawrence goes. Broadsword up, draws a foul. He will go to the line for two. It's on Cochran. It's his third.
Chicago fouls on Daniel Cochran. That's his third. That'll put Broadsword at the line, shooting not one but two.
Two free throws for Broadsword. 59% free throw shooter out of Boise, Idaho. Has yet to try a free throw today. First one's away. It's good. As Call comes in for the first time this half, and Bandemere back in, as Chicago will bring in Blake Hawthorne in for the first time, junior forward from Eagle, Idaho. Second free throw is good for Broadsword, and J.J. Stevens will take Broadsword out. Meanwhile, and Hawthorne finds himself wide open under the rim to score. The UAA, UChicago's conference, received 4 bids as Sompa tries a 3, no good, continuing his struggles tonight. 4 bids to the NCAA Division III men's basketball tournament last year. As Kanawha gets an open 3, no good. Piotrowski's there for an easy rebound next to Sompa. Carnegie Mellon, Case Western Reserve, Wash U, and NYU all with bids last year. We've already seen one UAA team this year here. It was Case Western Reserve, but the Hornets had a decisive victory over as that foul was before the shot. It's going to go on call.
Non-shooting foul. That's his second. Team's second. Checking in for the Maroons, Ben Chasen.
The Maroons will bring Ben Chasen, junior from Greenwich, Connecticut, into the game. Piotrowski, guarded by Hanfin, gives it to Chafin. 63-37 lead for UChicago. Barry around the screen. He is fouled.
Non-shooting foul on Nelson Sompa.
That's going to go on Sompa. His second, and Perez comes in.
Kalamazoo, number 23.
Sompa managed to time the jump right and deflect the inbound pass. Was inbounded to Piotrowski, to Kanawha, who got it into Hawthorne. Has it deflected, reverse, no good. Perez has the rebound. Call. Directing a little bit of traffic. Bandemir off a screen. Gets into the lane, stops. Out to Perez. He's open for 3. That comes up short. Even the open threes the Hornets have had just haven't really been able to knock them down, shooting just 4 of 18 from deep. As Kanawha's 3 is good. The shooting percentages have gone up for the Maroons as they lead now by 29 with 7.5 to go. Stevens got it on a slip. He's fouled on the way up, and that will take us to another media timeout. So the Maroons in firm control of this game. 7:24 to go. They lead at 66-37. J.J. Stevens misses the first free throw out of the timeout with 7:24 to go. He's a 62% free throw shooter. Hornets haven't had a great day from the stripe either. That's the second free throw's away and good. That puts him at now 4 of 10. They stick with a little bit of pressure. It's just man-to-man this time. They're about to begin play in the MIAA, America's oldest conference. As Ben Chasen drives, kicks out to Pitt. He'll try a three. Got it. Lead grows north of 30. Vandermeer tried to dump it down to Stevens. Stolen by Knaw. And an offensive foul is going to be called. Call. Got hit in the face by Knaw. There's a couple more subs for the Maroons. Lawrence back in, and DJ Harvey, freshman guard, in for the first time with 6:46 to go. Vandermeer gives it out to Stevens. Call. Got it after a clap, drives. Couldn't get it to go. Trying to draw some contact and a foul. Couldn't do so. As mentioned, Kalamazoo will begin play in the MIAA. As that pass intercepted by Stevens. Call up ahead through the lane. He's fouled by Lawrence. Lawrence will enter there at 7-4. They will begin on Wednesday when they travel to the defending national champions, the Trine Thunder. Their first league home game will be next Saturday when they host Calvin. And they have the gauntlet to start league play at Trine, Calvin, and Hope. As the first free throw from Call is good. That Hope game will be next Wednesday at 7:30. Calvin will be on Saturday at 1 p.m. There's another sub in for UChicago, Ezra Mosen, senior from Toronto. Call goes 2 for 2. Chasen rather's got it. As Harvey pulls up and hits a mid-range jump shot. Ferguson comes off a screen, fires a three. That's no good. Sampa's got the offensive rebound. Look at the MIAA preseason poll. Nobody in the league has played a league game yet. As Perez battling with Pitt down low, trying to create some space. He's fouled on the way up. Trine, the defending champs, picked as the favorites to win it, followed by Calvin and Hope. So Kalamazoo will get the top three in league play all to start. Then it's Albion at 4th, Adrian at 5th, Olivet at 6th. The Hornets are 7th, and the Alma is picked 8th. First free throw for Perez is good. Second free throw for Perez is no good. The Hornets league schedule shapes up that gauntlet to start. Then they go to Alma, Olivet, and Albion for 3 straight road games. Then they get 3 straight home games against Adrian, Olivet, and Albion. They travel to Hope February 8th, host Alma February 12th. They'll go to Calvin on February 15th, and then host Trine in the final regular season game as the ball thrown out of bounds February 19th. And then they will end the season at Adrian. Remember last year, Adrian and Kalamazoo played the final game of the season here. Anderson, and a winner goes to the MIAA tournament game. It was an instant classic where the Bulldogs were the victorious team. Here's Dougie Blackwood. Crossover over to Hannafin as UChicago made another sub. Talk about that in one moment. Call drives, flailed it up. He got fouled. That sub For the Maroons was L.J. Moore, freshman from Marietta, Georgia.
Fouls on Ben Chasen, his second personal.
Second one on Chasen.
Caleb Call returns to the line, 2 shots.
Call comes up short on the free throw. 71-41 score. It's been a dominant effort for UChicago since about the 10-minute mark in the first half. The second one is good. The 9:32 mark in the first half was the last time the Hornets led, and their largest lead was 4. Largest lead for UChicago, 31. So we approach the 4.5 minutes to play mark. Harvey gives to Moore. One more to Chasen, being guarded tightly by Ferguson. Chasen drives, has it knocked out of bounds with 2 to shoot. Hornets will bring in a couple of guys. For the first time today, Trey Bowling, junior from Grand Rapids, Michigan, in, and Nick Almeida in for the first time, senior from St. Clair Shores, Michigan. Off this inbound pass, Mose drills a 3 with a hand in his face. Ezra Mose, the senior from Toronto, hits his first 3 of the year. It was just his 4th field goal try. Bowling gives it to Ferguson. He threw a rocket off his shoulder. Harvey's got it, slows it down. Another timeout coming as Chasen tries a 3, and he got it. It's been a pretty hot second half for the Maroons after shooting just 12.5% from deep in the second. They are 9 of 15 from deep in the second half, pushing the lead out to 35. Ferguson goes into Bowling. Bowling on Hawthorne, picks it up. Blackwood tried to split 2. Call, drives, gets inside, got his rebound, got fouled. It's going to go on Mose. .319 to go. We're going to have a whistle blowing as Call was shooting the free throws in. We are going to have a media timeout. 3:19 to go in this one. Maroons with a big lead. .319 to go. Caleb Call shooting 2 as Hornets bring a fresh face in for the first time today as Call's free throw rattles out. Jackson Kiefer, freshman from Ann Arbor, comes in. Second one for Call is down. Another freshman in. Gavin Van Kempen comes in for the first time, freshman from Jonesville. Call has moved his total up to 6 points on 4 free throws as Mose steps back, tries another three. It's no good. Van Kempen grabs the rebound. Call. Gives this to Kiefer. Both teams almost full backup lines into the game now as Bowling gives this to Almeida. Almeida drives through some contact, couldn't get it to go. Wanted a foul, didn't get it. Now Moore driving the other way. Gives to Chasen, his three no good. Tipped out of bounds and a foul called. That's going to go on Hawthorne. Hornets are in the double bonus. So I believe this is Van Kampen that will go to the line. He has 2 free throws, so for 2 this year. First free throw is good. Second free throw for Van Kampen, bounces in. 2.5 to go. Next up on the schedule for U Chicago, as mentioned, they start UAA play. As Moore is going to be fouled before the shot. Saturday of next week, they will travel to Wash U. Next home game for the Maroons will be the 17th against Carnegie Mellon, as they will have it underneath. And for the Hornets, they go to Trine on Wednesday, as mentioned. Harvey gets it. Down low to Hawthorne. Hawthorne spins, fades away, no good, and nobody grabs the rebound for the Hornets. So Harvey's going to step into a three. That's no good, and a foul. See, this is on either Bowling or Hawthorne. It's going to go on Bowling. 6-1 against the Hornets, no free throws yet. 2:05 to go. Harvey around the screen. Hawthorne flips up and got it to go with a foul. Hawthorne's free throw away, rattles in and out. Almeida drives to the baseline, gives it to Bowling. Over to Jackson Kiefer, who fires a three, no good. That would have been Jackson's first collegiate points. As we're under 2 minutes to go. Moore crosses over, shoulder down, kicks it out to Harvey. Mose to Hawthorne. His three, got it. Call probing. As we hit the 1 minute mark to go in this game, Van Kampen spins, gets into the lane, got it up with a foul. Nice little showing from Van Kampen, who's got 4 points now. Foul goes against Moore. Under a minute to go in this one. The Hornets want to pull the upset as that free throw misses on Wednesday over Trine. They will have to figure out how to stop Drew Moore, who is second in the MIAA and scoring at 16.7 a game. Now Broadsword is third, right behind him. That's a great opportunity for the Hornets to go down to a great basketball setting in Trine. Hawthorne three, no good. Moore grabs the offensive rebound, couldn't get it. Bowling with a strong rebound. Now Van Kampen Kicks out to Bowling. Over to Kiefer. Call as the clock ticks down to 20. Crosses over and a whistle and a foul. So that'll turn the shot clock off and give Call a couple of free throws. Call hits the first. Been very good at the line. Our next broadcast here of Hornet Athletics at home will be on Wednesday. The Kalamazoo College women's basketball team will host St. Mary's. First time those two teams meet, as that free throw rattles no good. It'll be out of bounds. Staying on this end with 18.3 seconds to go. 82-48 is the score, and it's looking like that's what the final's going to be, barring the Hornets getting one more bucket. Call, fakes, try to dump it down to Van Kampen, and this one is going to go to UChicago, where I believe they will run this clock out. I invite you all to come join us for that women's game on Wednesday as they search for their first MIAA win. And this one's going to go final, an 82-48 win for the University of Chicago today over Kalamazoo, as we look at some scoring numbers, some individual numbers, highlight the best of this game. Leader for Chicago is Thomas Karofsky, who scored 13 points. Behind him, Joe Barry with 12 and Daniel Cochran with 11. Cochran's going to end up with a double-double today. He picked up 10 rebounds. Luke Smith right behind him with 8. And Jackson Piotrowski with 7. Leading them in assists today, Barry, Eamon Kana, Karofsky, Smith, and DJ Harvey, each with 2. The Hornets, they were led by Carter Vandermeer with 12 points. Caleb Call with 7. Pat Perez with 6. And rebounds today, it's Lucas Broadsword with 6. Nelson Sompa with 5. And Broadsword with 3 assists. Sompa with 2. And Lucas Hannafin with 2. That'll just about wrap up this broadcast. We thank you all for tuning in. As said earlier, our next broadcast will be on Wednesday when the Kalamazoo College women's basketball team is at home to take on St. Mary's. That will be the first official game of the winter trimester here at Kalamazoo. Signing off here from Tisch Loveless Court at the Anderson Athletic Center, my name is Zach Metz. We thank you all for tuning in. Final score today, the University of Chicago 82, Kalamazoo College 48. Thank you, everybody.